Today, I'm recording this video from a cemetery, and you might be wondering why I'm doing that. Why am I sitting in this morose, somewhat morbid place in a wheelchair? And I'm going to tell you that. The answer is pretty simple. I live across the street from this cemetery. My childhood home was right here. And I remember coming through this place as a kid. I'd ride my bike through here on the way home from my friend's place. Mark, if you're watching, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I remember looking at this place at the time as a very sad, dark, gloomy environment. I never thought that there was any other way to view a cemetery. But after this injury, I was obviously crippled. I was stuck to a pair of crutches, and as you guys know, crutches suck. If you've ever used them, if you've ever been cursed with their presence in your life, you understand that you cannot go far on them. They're simply a means to get from the fridge to the bed. But luckily, my neighbor had an extra wheelchair, and he let me use it. And because of that, I was, for a whole month, using this thing on a daily basis. But as you guys also probably can imagine, wheelchairs are not easy to use. Cardio on the arms, I don't care how good of shape you're in, is not an enjoyable feat or process. It's exhausting. And to make matters worse, when you're on the street or the sidewalk in a wheelchair, it's at an angle. And what that means is that you have to pump your left or your right arm a lot more than the other. And I'm a big believer in symmetry. I like the aesthetics of the body, and I didn't want to constantly be pushing with my left arm and look like Popeye here and a noodle over here. So I was looking for a spot where I could go that would be flat, level ground. And that just so happened to be here. The pavement here is flat. It's easy to roll around. There's no traffic. There's no people. It's very peaceful and calm. So I found myself here all the time. I would do laps, and then I would sit and meditate. And weirdly enough, over time, I found that this was an amazing place to do so. It's quiet, it's peaceful, and it gave me a lot to think about. Because in a place like this, inherently, my thoughts would always wind up in the category and the realm of life itself. And I wondered to myself, look at all these people around me. Everyone who had been born years before, decades before, even a century before, they all came to the same conclusion. It's probably not lost on you that we all are approaching the same fate. None of us are making it out of here alive. No matter what you do, no matter how you live, how healthy you are, we are all going to pass away at some point. That's just the fact of life. And when I first came to this thought, as I've had before, I realized there's two ways to look at this. You could enter a state of nihilism where you believe, okay, well, it's all pointless. We're all going to die anyway. What does it matter? No matter what I do, I can't change the inevitable. I can't change destiny. Or you could look at it this way. Because of our short time that we are given here, 60 to 100 years depending, maybe even less, as I quickly found out after this accident, it could be a lot less. Luckily, I'm still here talking. But we have a limited amount of time. And because of that, everything we do here is on an hourglass. It's on a clock. You don't have the luxury of putting things off. That conversation you want to have with your parents, the I love you want to say to your friends, your family, whatever it may be, you should do it because you never know when that opportunity will be taken away from you. And I think that's something that's beautiful. Because of our limited time here, we have to make the most of it. And that's something that can be positive. And as I was sitting out here for the whole month that I was confined to this wheelchair, I kept coming back to this conclusion that I've been given this opportunity as you have. We spawned on this earth together. If you're listening to this video, you are on this journey with me and I'm on this journey with you. We're going through life together. Whether you know me personally, whether you know me through the internet, whatever it may be, we're here together. And I think there's meaning in that because we can help one another. We can give each other an easier go at it. Whether you make someone laugh, whether you're there as a shoulder to cry on, whether you're there to just talk, to gossip, to chug a few beers, maybe 6, maybe 12. We're here together. And that's a beautiful thing to me. I think the purpose of life, in my opinion, is to interact with other people and to grow as a person as a result of that. But there's another thing that I want to talk about today too, which is this idea that I came to that we grow as people and we evolve together through our experiences in life. Everyone around me, all of these people, each headstone represents a person, a set of experiences, a soul that once lived. No matter what they went through, it was life. The good, the bad, the ups and the downs. And I like to think of that in a beautiful way, you know? I'm getting a little bit philosophical with this conversation, but it is beautiful. No matter what happened to any of these people here, they lived, they existed. And I think that in and of itself has meaning. So for me, lately, especially as I sit here right now, after going through this horrible experience, I've realized that I've grown a lot as a person. And maybe even though I don't have my whole life planned out, I don't have a career path, I don't have aspirations, I don't have goals that are solid or set, I'm realizing that no matter what I do, no matter what you do, no matter what we do, we can find meaning in the smallest of things. For example, any of these people, if they were to look back on their life, they might have missed a few things. They might have made a few mistakes. They've probably had accomplishments, raised families. But no matter what, I'm sure each and every one of these people can say that they had an impact on one other person's life. And in my opinion, that gave their life meaning. I'm sure a lot of these people left the world a better place than they found it. And what better way to exist than that? Spend your time here on this earth with a sense of purpose and a sense of gratitude. And obviously, it's easier said than done. I would be lying if I sat here today and said, oh yeah, it was a big picnic. In reality, there were a lot of times when I came here and I simply sat and cried. I was in a state of self-pity. I felt bad about the way that my life had turned out. I felt like a burden on my family and friends for this accident, for all the things that I had put my loved ones through. Even though it wasn't my fault that I got hit by this drunk driver, I felt responsibility for it. But at the end of the day, I realized something important. That no matter what experience I have, no matter what experience I introduce into other people's lives, I think they can grow from it. I think I can grow from it. And I'm simply here today sharing that experience with you guys. However you view life, these videos, I'm hoping they give you something to think about. And today, that's what I was thinking about. I hope you guys are having a good one. And maybe I'll end this video with a slightly poetic statement. That in this place, in this cemetery, a place filled with death and sadness and grief and loss, I discovered life. I discovered a new outlook, something that I carry with me today, and I wanted to share that with you. I hope you guys are having a good one, and I'll catch you tomorrow.